So now we will discuss about the kinematics of a fluid element. So when a fluid element is moving, so there may be pure translation, there may be pure rotation, yeah, there may be pure deformation. But actually, during a flow, all the three happens simultaneously. So what is, suppose it's a path line of a fluid element. So the at some time the fluid is here, at some other time the fluid is here. So you see the mass centers are lying along the path line, and the fluid orientation does not change. If the fluid element is rectangular, it remains rectangular throughout its motion. So it is known as pure translation. That means there is no rotation of the fluid element. Similarly, in case of a fluid rotation or pure fluid rotation, then the orientation of the fluid particle changes. Initially it was rectangle, then it's changing, the rectangle is changing with some angles, okay, but the mass center does not change, mass center. Similarly, in case of deformation of the fluid element, so the deformation may happen by shear. This is shearing, okay. So angular deformation, basically angular deformation, shearing happens. Elongation, so one of the sides will be elongated. Dilatation, so the volume changes, so shearing, elongation and the dilatation, these are the pure deformation. So when a fluid moves from one place to another place, so all the three happens simultaneously. So basically the fluid motion is a complicated motion, so the translation happens of the fluid particles, rotation, the fluid particles rotate about its mass centers, as well as there is a deformation happens. So now we'll discuss detail about this and try to find out some interesting quantities in terms of the differential expressions. So this is also the differential analysis of the fluid flow. To consider a fluid element rectangular, 2D analysis we will do to simplify the case. Later on we can easily extend this to 3D expressions. So OAB is a fluid element, rectangular shape, delta x, delta y are the dimensions. At some time t equal to 0, suppose, okay. After some time delta t, the fluid reaches to a different location along its path line. So now you see there is deformation takes place, there is rotation also takes place, and there is a translation also takes place. So all the three happens to this fluid element at some time delta t. So the fluid is moving with velocity u and v. So these are the deformed shape O dash, A dash and B dash, deformed final shape of the fluid element. They make angle d alpha with x axis, OA dash is making d alpha with x axis, and OB dash makes d beta with y axis. So now what is this? Vertical distance v into delta t, because along y direction it's moving with velocity v multiplied by the time will give you the displacement. Similarly, along x axis it is moving with velocity u, so multiplied by delta t, so this is the displacement u delta t. Now from this horizontal location to the final location A dash, what is the this small deformation? Angular deformation is d alpha, but what is this linear deformation? If so, I have taken only for the case A to A dash. So from x axis the vertical distance is v delta t. So what is the vertical distance from the x axis to A dash? So similar Taylor series expansion you can apply to find out the increase of the displacement due to the angular deformation d alpha. So if velocity is v at A, What is the velocity at a dash? So velocity change takes place along x direction. So this deformation is basically along the x direction. So if velocity is v at a, so at a dash velocity v plus del v by del x into delta x. Taylor's series expansion. So neglecting the higher order terms. Okay. So this is the velocity gradient along x-axis, because the movement from a to a dash takes place due to change of the y component of the velocity with respect to x-axis. Similarly, from b to b dash, it is the change of the x component of the velocity with respect to the y-axis. So in this way, by using Taylor series expansion, you can find out. So what is this? So this minus this you know, and this you know. So this minus this will give you this. It is del v by del x delta x into delta t. Similarly, this horizontal distance also similar way you can find out. It is del u by del y in delta y into delta t. So now what is the rate of angular deformation? Gamma xy. It is d alpha by dt plus d beta by dt. So total angular deformation. So both the sides are getting deformed. So summation of both angular deformations. So from the geometry, what is d alpha? D alpha equal to this minus delta x. Similarly, d beta equal to this minus delta y. So del v by del x into delta y, delta t, d beta equal to del y by del y into delta t. So you add both. So the angular deformation will be del u by del y plus del v by del x. So this you have to remember. This is along xy axis, xy plane. Similarly, in other plane, suppose the flow takes place in xz plane. So you have to replace the suitable quantities. Xz means u and w will get the components of the velocity. Similarly, if it is yz plane, then the v component and w component you will get. Now what is the strain rate? It was important. So in the discussion during the Newton's law of viscosity, we have used this strain rate, velocity gradient. So epsilon xy equal to half of the angular deformation. This is the definition. So half of angular deformation. Angular deformation, you know, half of this in xy plane. Similarly, along yz, v component, double component. Similarly, xz, u component, double component. Now what is angular velocity? Angular velocity will be, suppose it's rotating along anti-clockwise direction. So a dash, OA dash moves in the anti-clockwise direction, but OB dash moves in the clockwise direction. So net angular deformation will be the rotation of OA dash minus the rotation of O dash B dash. So it's not summation, it's the subtraction. So angular velocity will half of d alpha minus d beta by delta t. So d alpha, d beta already you know, half of del v by del x minus del u by del y in xy plane. Similarly, if it is yz plane, then you will get omega x. If it is xz plane, you will get omega y. Just to replace the corresponding quantities. Now the vorticity will be defined as the curl of the velocity vector. So curl is nothing but the cross product of the nabla and the velocity vector, and omega angular velocity is half of the vorticity. Now if you know the velocity vector, you can find out all other quantities, because you know the differential expression for all the quantities. Angular deformation, strain rate, angular velocity, vorticity, everything you can easily find out. Whether it's a 2D flow, yeah, it's a 3D flow.